And then I'd like to thank all of you for coming out this afternoon. It's hard to be out in a day like this, I recognize, but one of our few days of summer, I'm glad we had an opportunity to share a few minutes together outside. This is a great day for Montana Tech, and for the second time in 2 short months, I've had the privilege to participate in a groundbreaking ceremony that will announce or offer a precursor to the growth and expansion of our campus. Early in May, I stood down at the Hyper as we talked about the renovation to that complex, and now today we are here standing or sitting on the site of the future University Relations Center, specifically the Frank and Ann Gilmore University Relations Center. Yes, thank you. That just blew over. This project is not a new idea, and this project is certainly not the idea of individual. Quite honestly, the contemplation of this building has been ongoing through the Montana Tech channels for at least 20 years that we can document, and maybe more. So the history and the momentumness of this day is truly awesome for me, because it is the culmination of a whole bunch of work for many, many people for many, many years. So we are very excited about what we're doing today. And before I go too much farther, I want to remind everyone what the University Relations Center is. On this grassy lot and a little bit of that parking lot, in about 52 weeks, will be a 10,000 square foot building that will house the advancement and development activities of Montana Tech. Those are, to remind you, the Alumni Affairs Office and the Office of the Montana Tech Alumni Association, the Office of Public Relations and Marketing, as well as the Webmaster. We will have the suite of career services offices in this building, as well as the offices of the Montana Tech Foundation. In addition to that, we'll have a number of meeting rooms and conference rooms, and a second floor that will be one giant conference room for this community and for this campus, and an unfinished basement to accommodate for future growth. So long story short, we're going to add some pretty awesome space to this campus, desperately needed space, and free up a little bit of space on an already crowded campus. So this building will serve the campus very well. It's impossible when you stand here to thank everybody who needs to be thanked. So I'm not going to try to do that because you'll all be bored and I'll miss somebody. But I do want to mention just a couple things. First of all, the Board of Directors of the Montana Tech Foundation, for their foresight, for their courage, and frankly for their patience in getting a project like this done, developed. We've been talking about it for a long time, and a lot of people got sick of hearing about it. Frankly, it's time to start doing something. And most recently, the current Board of Directors really stepped up and made some things happen. So on behalf of the staff and the campus, I really want to make sure that the Foundation Board gets recognized. In addition, we have a tremendous number of staff members who have worked on the campus and in the Montana Tech Foundation supporting this effort for many years, and they also deserve thanks. We couldn't have done this without the hundreds of donors, and I do mean hundreds, that gave to this building and made this thing a reality. So we need to thank them. Again, I can't list them all, but I will in one stroke thank all of the donors who made this building a possibility. We also have an architect on this project from Bozeman, an alum of this school, a classmate of mine, a high school classmate of mine, and he's become a good friend of this campus, Keith Redfern and Concept 7 Designs. Keith, thank you for all of your effort and energy on this building, truly, patience included. We can't pull off a campus like this, or a project like this on a campus like ours, without direct involvement from the physical facilities, and specifically Art Anderson, who is the director of the physical plant on our campus. Art has been instrumental in getting a lot of the details taken care of so we can make this project move. So Art, on behalf of all of us, thank you and your staff for your effort. And then Bentley Construction, who has been awarded the contract. Our board of directors met today and officially gave the contract to Bentley Construction for this building. And as I walked up to this site this afternoon, Keith Redford handed me the letter from Butte Silver Bow's Building Code Department saying we are fully permitted as soon as we pay this bill, and we'll be ready to go. So the good news is the contract is signed, the permit's ready. We are going to be moving here very, very shortly. The one individual I need to single out for thank you is one that's very important to me, and that is current Chancellor Frank Gilmore. There are 3, maybe 4 things I need to say specifically about Frank in relation to this building. I could talk the rest of the afternoon about how strongly I feel about Frank, but I really want to recognize and make sure all of you appreciate the vision that Frank Gilmore had when he set up the Institutional Advancement and Development Group. It was his vision to take all of those functions I mentioned earlier and put them under one auspice, put them under one office. I've had the privilege to lead that office, but it was his idea, and he gave me an opportunity to make that happen. And truly, now all of those people will come together in one physical space and truly maximize the potential of that idea. He also had the passion for fundraising and the personal commitment to continue to explore and figure out what it was going to take to make this thing happen. It was rough. 20 years worth of talking about it is a long time. Frank worked and talked and worked and talked and continued to pursue all that he had to help us get the money committed to this project. And frankly, his courage to create the first ever comprehensive fundraising campaign for this campus. In the 100+ years this campus has existed, we are in right now the midst of the first capital comprehensive campaign. It wouldn't have happened without Frank. So bringing all those things together, his vision, his passion, and his courage, I am proud to say that we will soon have the Frank and Ann Gilmore University Relations Center, and truly a deserved honor. Thank you, sir. Now for, I think, the punchline of my limited speech this morning. I am very proud to tell you that through the efforts of the Montana Tech Foundation's Board of Directors, its staff, and many, many donors, we have raised all the money necessary to construct this building. We are completely funded and ready to go, permit included. So you all deserve a great deal of compliments and kudos for the completion of that fundraising effort. We will continue to beg for money, though. I don't want you to think that we're going to stop. We have the construction funds, but we need to sit on something, so we'll be looking for furniture and fixtures, and we'll be continuing to raise money. So I want you not to think that the begging is in the wrong vein. We really are looking for it. But I can't thank enough all the many donors, some of which are here on this field today, who gave a considerable amount of their personal wealth to make this building happen. And you all know who you are, and I won't try to embarrass you nor single you out, but truly from the bottom of our hearts, that's the campus and the foundation. We are very, very, very appreciative. I would like to now bring up, if I could, the current chairman, the chairman who was formally seated today as the chairman of the Montana Tech Foundation's board, Mr. Jerry Schuyler, to say a few words on behalf of the foundation board and to offer a personal story about this building. Jerry, would you please?
Okay, thanks, Mike. Yeah, Mike talked to me about 15 minutes ago, asked me if I'd mind saying something here, so here it is. First, I want to thank probably 3 different entities, and some of them are people. The one outfit, I want to reiterate what Mike said about the support that came out here. I don't know if everybody realizes this, but I believe this is only the 2nd building on campus that has significant private funds. Is that correct, Frank? Yeah. So actually the Natural Resources building was the first one, so that was a major milestone in today's time that we need to really recognize. And this one, I believe, is 100% funded, basically with private funds. And obviously, Frank, we're going to hear more from you, and this is an incredible tribute to you. Mike Johnson has done one heck of a job pulling all this stuff together, and Frank's was able to enact Frank's vision in a lot of these things. So Mike has done an incredible job for us. We're very, very appreciative of that. The donors, there are numerous alum that actually have given $100,000+ dollar donations to this building. So the amount of donations, the amount of people that have donated, as well as the amount of money that they are donating is pretty phenomenal. And obviously, Frank, I want to thank you and Ann for everything you've done here. The story that Mike asked me to relay, I actually use this, yeah, in a lot of respects, I'm a very normal, Montana Tech, grew up in the farm type of guy. Came here and I'm out of a family of 6. So anyway, there's a lot of people that come from a rural background, come to Tech, go out and do pretty well. It opens an incredible amount of doors for you. Well, anyway, with my family of 6, all 6 of us came here to this school. So my wife and I were deciding how best we could honor my parents. So what we did it was a little bit tricky. I guess I actually kind of put the squeeze on my brothers and sisters. But I put a matching fund together and basically said, everybody throw in here and we'll name a room in your honor. So that is what we're doing, and we're pretty excited about that. Now that isn't for publication yet because they don't know that yet. And Mike's actually coming down, I think, in a few days to make that presentation to my parents. So it's pretty cool. And again, all I can say, Frank and Ann, just thanks for everything you've done. It's been incredible. You have a tremendous legacy here.
Thank you, Jerry, and we'll keep that a secret from your family for about another week, okay? I'd now like to ask Dr. Frank Gilmore to come up and make a few comments. I've asked him to speak on two behalfs. One, as our current Chancellor and CEO, to tell us a little bit about how he feels about this building and its addition to our campus. And then if he could take his Chancellor hat off, I'd like him to talk about the honor that's being bestowed on his family today and how that has impacted his life. So Frank, two hats today, please. Don't have much cord.
Thank you, thank you, Mike. I'm glad he didn't ask me to have two heads today because a lot of people think I do. 13 years ago, when Ann and I arrived here, it was a dream, a beautiful dream, a dream to have a home for all of those those university relation programs that go out and meet with the public, that help the public become a part of this campus. And it was slow at first. We didn't get much money at first. But then Bob and Pauline Poor did, in fact, donate their home. And some of you know that Bob and Pauline also gave us that beautiful arch that was patterned after the Seda Gate at Berkeley, where Bob did his undergraduate work. And they also gave their home to Tech, and that was the first really significant donation that went into this and kind of started the push. And you know, from there on, it's been history of many contributors. So this building means a great deal, not just in the fact that it gives us the extra space that we need and so forth, but symbolically bringing the community and bringing all of our university relations groups together. And like Mike said, I had, before he was hired as Vice Chancellor and President of the Foundation, I had put together a small marketing group, and he took that and took it to the epitome of a marketing group, where now every person that goes out, if they're going out fundraising, they do alumni affairs, they do other things. If one of the fundraisers goes out, or if Peggy McCoy and Alumni Affairs goes out, she's doing all of the things that we do with our alumni, with our friends, and with companies and so forth, and not just trying to raise money or not just trying to raise friends. And that's the strength that Mike has brought to this. So this building is not just the building, it's also symbolic of a lot of things that the campus has wanted to do and tried to do, and not just what Frank Gilmore wanted or what Ann wanted, but it was a dream at the time we came, and that dream, it's so wonderful to see a dream at least start to come true. And what does it mean to Ann and me personally? Well, first I have to tell you that it's not something I expected. Certainly never expected it when I was pulling peanuts up many years ago in an old clay field in Mississippi, and my mother brought me some water, and she asked me what I wanted to do, what I was going to do when I grew up, and I said, I'm sure as hell not going to be a farmer. Well, I kind of enjoy that nowadays, you know, and kind of look forward to going back to it, but I certainly never thought that I would be in Montana, never thought I would be at Montana Tech, or certainly never thought that someone would think enough of something that Ann and I had done to name a building for us. And so as I would say, is first of all, it's very humbling. I hope that the things that are done here are things that would say, okay, this guy was at least able to put his shoes on or something like that. But it is very humbling. It's also a wonderful honor. I thank all of you that contributed, all of you that are here today. I especially thank Mike, and I especially thank all the members of the foundation and the foundation board. I have some really, really wonderful friends among the foundation board over the years. They've been just great to work with. And I'm gonna have to tell you, if you want to raise money, go with Jerry Schuyler. He put the squeeze on his siblings, but I can tell you, he didn't mind walking into a corporate office and just telling them, you ought to contribute this much to this building, not this one, but the other one over there. And I could never do that. I can go with him, but I can't put the squeeze on like he can. So Jerry, thank you for your talents. You have wonderful talents. But this is extremely meaningful to Ann and me. As I said, very humbling, but also a wonderful honor. So thank you so very much.
Now I'd like to move into the fun part of this afternoon. Ann Gilmore, could we have you step forward, please? I think it's very appropriate that Ann take the first scoop out of this lot as we break the ground and begin this process. So we're going to put her in a hard hat and actually put her in this machine over here. And Ann, with the encouragement of all your friends and fans here, we're going to let you take the first scoop. So please. When you came here today, I'm sure you didn't expect to actually really see a groundbreaking. 1, 2, 3, let the building begin.